We hot on the mic. Let's see. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Can we hear pretty good? I think we can hear pretty good. All things considered. What's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome to Hard Dumps with Maciano. So let me tell y'all the headspace I've been in today. The headspace I've been in today is it's time to level up, but it's time right now. Like it's not time to wait for perfect weather to sow. That's in the Bible. It's not time to wait on someone else to give me the motivation to do it. It's not time to, oh, no. It's time now to level up. It's time to do everything that we need to do to be able to get ourselves in the best possible position in the next 10 years now. Facts. That's the mindset that I'm in right now. The time to do what is necessary to get ourselves in the best possible position we possibly can in the next 10 years is right now. I seen a post the other day. It said, when you were 15, you wish that you took sports more seriously. When you turn 25, you wish you took school more seriously. But when you're 35, you wish you started a business. Extremely profound statement. Extremely profound. For me, I'm sitting here at 25. You feel me? With a business that I've already started, with a business that I already monetized, with a business that's already shown itself to be successful. So now the mindset shift is, why am I not pouring in it the way that I should be? Like, why am I not pouring into it to the capacity that I should? And that's really been where my head has been at. That's where my heart has been at. Um, Now with that being said, recently I did have a lot of stuff going on as it relates to just some health stuff, and I ended up cutting my hair off. I've been getting settled in. I've been traveling a little bit. I've been working a lot. So all things considered, it has been very much so a challenge to revisit this. But then I just remember what I was like in 2024. Anybody who's been following me, anybody who's been keeping up with me, y'all know what 2024 consisted of. Like, y'all know what Maciano looked like in 2024. In 2024, Maciano was putting shit out. Maciano was dropping consistently. Maciano was really, really pouring into his craft. And a lot of times I think that God blesses us with things and we don't do right by what God blessed us with. You know what I'm saying? God gave me a platform. God gave me a platform. God gave me a message. God gave me a voice. God gave me a delivery. God gave me. And to not pour into that is not obedient at all. So now I'm here and I'm like, you know what? Like, my mindset needs to shift. I need to get my hustle back. I need to do all of the things that are necessary for me to be able to be a good servant. Like, just be a good son. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever comes from it is the byproduct. But just being obedient to what God blessed you with is the first and foremost thing. And that should be first and foremost for all of us. You feel what I'm saying? So that's been the headspace that I'm in. I'm happy that I'm on live right now. You feel me? And I'm on live with no agenda. I'm on live with no topics prepared. I'm just here just to see if this is something that I'm capable of doing, because in 2024 I was really, really good at this. I was able to jump on here and I was talking relationship stuff and it was dope. And I feel like the relationship messages was something that a lot of people resonated with. But the problem with the whole relationship approach to social media is that what happens is that a lot of times to the world you appear as perfect, and a lot of times to people who have never met you before, people who have never sat across from you and had a conversation with you, they kind of put you on this pedestal as if you're somebody who has the best advice, the best way of thinking, the best mentality. But the fact of the matter is that usually there is someone in real life who actually knows you, who has to answer for those things that you're saying on social media. And that was a situation that I ended up personally in. You feel what I'm saying? Where I was like, you know what? A lot of my ways of thinking are dope. A lot of my ways of thinking is creative, but a lot of the ways that I'm thinking don't always apply to the relationship that I'm actually in and to the way that I'm maneuvering currently. So there's a lot of heart checking. There's a lot of realigning in the soul and realigning in the mental that needs to take place. And I feel like I've done that to the best of my ability. And I'm just continuously growing at it and trying to be the best that I can possibly be. So that's the fact of the matter. All things considered, right? All things considered, now my approach to social media is like, okay, cool. Well, how can I still use my voice to reach the masses, pass off a great message, connect with people, and have fun doing it and make it something enjoyable, make it something entertaining? So that's what I'm here for. I'm here for it. I'm gonna take a stab at it, and I'm approaching it with the same mindset that I had before. Let's be creative. Let's innovate. Let's give it actual effort, and whatever happens from it, whatever comes from it, is the byproduct from for what God had predestined for me already. So that's that. That's that. Yes. Um, I feel like every time I jump on here, I gotta kind of give y'all a little bit of an update. This is the update. The update is that when you start getting older, right? Like when you start getting older, when you start maturing, you come across concepts that are so hard to explain to other people. And one of those concepts that I feel like is very hard to get other people to understand is what a season of solitude actually is. Like what it means when God puts you in a season where it's just you. What happens is that you get an opportunity to do two things, right? You get an opportunity to go toward God. You feel what I'm saying? Pour into yourself, pour into your craft, work hard, make some money, get your body in shape, all types of really dope, righteous things. But then on the flip side of that is distractions, right? Now, this is the advice to all of the people. It's so easy to fall into the trap of a distraction than it is to fall into your purpose and what you're meant to be doing. And what happens is that when you come into a season of solitude, you go through every single emotion possible. You're happy, you're sad, you're depressed, you're anxious, all things. You go through all of them. And it's so hard to get people to understand stuff like that. But this is what does need to be understood. If I can express anything and make anything that I say right now clear and precise, this is what it is. It's so meaningful. It's so necessary for you to spend some time with yourself and go through all of the emotions and figure out who you are in the face of opposition, in the face of opportunity. Freedom is very much so a playground for the devil, because the one thing that the devil takes advantage of is an idle mind. And if you get into a season of solitude and you sit there and do nothing, I promise you the devil is going to have his way with you. I promise he is. And it's concepts like that that I feel like are so hard to teach. But as I continue to grow and as I continue to develop, I'll continue to make sense of it. And I have some game to give. I'll have it. Just give me some time because I'm still growing up. You feel me? And I'm still in it. I'm still in it. Yeah. Yes, I'm making a YouTube video. This will be going on YouTube. Yeah. It's been a while, so I apologize. Yes. But in this season of solitude, man, I'm just learning so much about myself. And I'm honestly figuring out who I am when I have nobody to fall back on. You feel what I'm saying? When you have nobody who's enabling you and you have nobody who can come save you, you approach things with a completely different mindset. Shout out to Roses Are Dead. Them my brothers. Something Terry Roseland said is that when you look at every single decision that you make as you being the person responsible and you being the person who will take the fall for it and you being the person who will take 100% of the blame, you navigate through decisions completely different. You do things completely different. You look at things with a completely different outlook. It's very much so something that you look at in the best possible mindset. When you look at it as if, yes, everything is my fault. No matter what happens, it's going to be my fault. I promise you approach situations like that completely different. And that's what a season of solitude is you literally being in a season where it's just you. Nobody is coming to save you. And it could be very fruitful or it could be very detrimental. But you choose it. You feel me? It's all you. You're in control of that. So those are the type of things and the type of concepts that I really want to teach a son of mine. You feel me? It's like, look, when you go to college, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a whole bunch of people throwing themselves at you. You're going to have a whole bunch of people hyping you up, calling you the man, inviting you to go do all of the craziest stuff in the world. And it's going to be fun too. You're going to enjoy it short term. But when it gets long term and you actually looking at what your life consisted of for the last 4 years, you're going to be mad as hell. You're going to be mad as hell at yourself. So you gotta understand what a season of solitude actually is. No cap. Men need those seasons. Absolutely. And you know what else? If we put an emphasis on men, when a man is in a season of solitude, lust appears so frequently, and it's something that you battle, and it's something that you actually have to show up for and deal with day to day. But once you figure it out, And once you got it, and once you can control your sexual desires and your worldly desires and your impulses and all of the things, I promise you, you become a very much so more developed man, a wiser man, a more patient man, a more understanding man. The anxieties go down because the anxieties are only coming from you thinking that you're missing an opportunity. That's literally what lust is as a man, is that you're looking at all of these things that you believe are actual viable options. You feel me? That's the illusion of options. You look at all of these women and all of these things that you can do and all of these parties you can attend and all of the things. And then when you get to a point where you start saying no to that stuff, it brings anxiety because you truly believe that you're missing something when you're not. When you're not. And when you come to a realization that you ain't missing nothing, like the desires of the world and the gifts of the world are nothing compared to the gifts of God. Once you come to a realization of that in your mind as a man, I promise you, you become dangerous. Like you become bulletproof. You really become bulletproof. And that's only one of the hurdles that you gotta, that you gotta get over as a man. There's a multitude of different ones, but lust is one of those ones where if you meet a young man who doesn't have a lustful heart, you can connect with him and you can make him understand so many different things if he has control over his sexual desires. You feel me? Because that's one of the most, the most vulnerable areas of a man. You feel me? So it's things like that. You feel me? It's stuff like that that I'm excited to teach a son of mine. I ain't gonna lie. So that's what that is. Yeah. But that's where I've been at. Just trying to get better. Working extremely hard. And like I said to my previous point about like what Seasons of Solitude show and that post that I seen, like that post got me. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm in a position now where I really, really be grinding. You feel me? Like I really jump in rabbit holes. I do a lot of studying. I do a lot of working. I do a lot of that stuff. But then I look up and I'm like, man, I remember I used to do that for myself. I remember when I really, really had a dope idea, and the same amount of time that I poured into a job, I poured into myself. And then the outcome of it was actual fulfillment. Like actually me waking up and being like, look, I ain't waiting for nobody to bring me $1. I'm finna go get it myself. That is the feeling that I feel like everybody should have and everybody should chase before you get to the point where you can't return. Like before you get to the point where you're like, you know what? This is a freedom that I no longer have. You need to take a stab at it. Absolutely. And that's what I'm here saying. Like, I'm here telling you all, like, after a month or two, not a month or two. I really went 4 months. You feel me? 4 months away from content, away from creating my videos, away from doing my thing after 10 months of it being extremely successful. You feel me? I stepped away to align my soul. I stepped away to be a little bit more stable in other areas. I stepped away to work on myself, right? Very much so the reason why I stepped away, right? And in that, I was also away from my craft. I was also away from something that I built, right? Now, what I learned in that time is that anything that you build and anything that you work on and you go get yourself, like anything you get off the muscle, shout out to Meek Mill. Like they love you when you get it out the muscle. Like anything you can get off your own muscle, I promise you is worth pouring into no matter what comes from it. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to look in the mirror and be like, man, I went and got my dollar rather than somebody bringing the dollar to me. That hit different. And I truly believe that that is an experience that everybody should have. So you can really see what's on the other side of risk. You feel me? When you start a business, when you aiming at something that's fueled and backed and ideated and created and just all done through you, I promise you, you put yourself on a completely different type of pedestal. Like you really, really adore yourself for even trying something like that. You feel me? And I wake up every single day like, man, I hope I get a good idea today. Because if I get that good idea, I promise you, I'm 10xing it. Them be the type of conversations I be having with my niggas. 10xing ideas, 10xing mindsets, you feel me? 10xing, like just 10x it. 10x it. Like really give it your all for real, while you can. Because it's going to get to a point where you won't be able to do that. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in a good position before I get to that point. Because at the end of the day, down the line, I do see a beautiful wife, you feel me? gorgeous wife who has some gorgeous babies that look just like her, and I can just love on them and take care of them and provide for them. But I'm also not trying to be clocking into somebody's job, doing fake ass corporate smiles my whole life just to make sure that they eating. Like, is that the nigga you want to be for real? If that's the nigga you want to be, it ain't nothing wrong with it. You feel me? Stability always. I'm going to always be the person who say, yes, stability, stability, stability. Go do something that's stable. Go do something that you can truly show up for. But I promise you, if you one of the niggas who get your shit off the muscle, you's a different type of nigga. You really are. If you're capable of that, you're different. And you have something completely different to offer your kids and offer your wife. And that's how I feel about that. I truly feel about that. So build, have a build mindset. Because at the end of the day, I watched the podcast the other day. The man said that the poor people, the survival mindset people, in their heart and in their mind, they got anxiety and shit. And they waking up trying to figure out how they going to make it and whatever the case may be. But people who have real wealth, and not wealth as it relates to assets and financial success and all of the things, but like wealth and mindset, wealth in their body, like wealth in their heart. They actually have conversations around their ideas. They expand on them. They bring them into the world and they live off of them. That's trim. That is trim. That's trim. And that's the type of husband that I want to be for real. Like, I want to be the type of husband where if my wife has an idea of a date night, of a dinner, of a vacation, of anything, in my history, like on my resume, like I have proof that I'm the type of nigga who will take an idea and really, really put it in the world. That's not something that you're able to do just because you're a good boyfriend. Like, no, you got to be a good businessman. You got to pray to God that you can be a good leader. You feel what I'm saying? You got to go through a season of solitude to be able to accomplish something like that. You got to defeat all lustful desires. You feel what I'm saying? You got to truly, truly learn how to not only take care of yourself, but take care of your gift, take care of your business, and take care of everybody around you who has any type of impact on that. That way, when a wife steps into the picture, words like no don't exist. Words like I can't don't, like, I'm not gonna lie. Full transparency, I won't get married until I get to the point where the word can't no longer exists in my dictionary. Like, it no longer exists in my mind and in my heart and in my psyche. If I use words like can't, then I shouldn't be getting married. Because I feel like when a woman steps into my life and then she brings my kid into this world, words like can't, they just can't exist. Like, they can't exist. Because what type of nigga is you to look at your family, see them going through something real, and then tell them I can't? But that got to be worked on, though. You feel me? So that's why it ain't no rush. It ain't no rush, but just make sure you're working on it. You feel me? It ain't no rush, but just make sure you're working on it. No lie. Like no cap. You feel me? Like yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Build mindset. Talk. What up, duty? Yeah, bro, I'm back on live, man. This is my first live in months. You feel me? I'm on here just trying to figure it out, see if I still got it. You feel me? No topic, no agenda. We just rolling. But yeah, bro. I think about marriage. I think about kids a lot. That's another thing that's been heavily on my mindset. Marriage and kids. Because the thing about marriage and kids is that when you come from the hood and you grew up around people and your whole life you did not see marriage, like healthy marriage, or your whole life you did not see a healthy, like, mother and father relationship as it relates to the kids and being under one roof and all of the things that are attached to that traditional parenthood. When you grow up and did not see that, you have a mindset that now needs to be deconstructed because you think that it's okay for the baby mama, baby father stuff. You feel me? You think it's okay for the father to live over there and the mother to live over there. You feel what I'm saying? You think it's okay that divorce is a thing. Like, you think that divorce is an option if you get unhappy in your marriage. Like, it's a lot of mindset deconstructing that you have to do to be able to look at something like that and be like, man, there's actual fruit that comes from marriage. There's actual fruit from, having a child with your wife, not with your girlfriend or anything like that, having a child with your wife and then raising those kids no matter what the circumstance is with your wife. Like, there's real fruit that comes from that. But a lot of people who don't come from that, they try to make sense of that outside of the constraints of marriage and outside of the constraints of doing it the right way. And it's very much so just like a mindset shift that needs to take place. In all honesty, that's truly how I feel. Can y'all still see me? I'm sorry, my screen went black. Can y'all still see me? Let me know if y'all can still see me. Can y'all still see me? Am I having some technical difficulties? I think I'm having some technical difficulties. Can y'all still see me? My screen went black. Let me know. While I'm going through my technical difficulties, I want to shout out Prime. They send me this, man. They send me about like 48 energy drinks. I'm not going to lie. I be geeking. Every morning workout when I bust them 5 a.m.s, I be geeking. Shout out to Prime. Shout out to my boys over there. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I ain't going to lie. Whatever y'all got, send it through. Send it through. I'm tapped in for sure. Shout out to Prime. And I take this with me everywhere too. I ain't going to lie. I throw some ice in there. So I'm one of the kids who still drinks tap water personally. I drink tap water. I didn't get out of the trenches. You feel me? I live in a nice little spot. You feel me? I be eating bananas and, you know, I use Aquaphor now and all type of stuff. You feel me? I sweep, I mop. I'm not in the trenches no more, but I'm not going to lie. Tap water is the water I drink. I drink tap water. You feel what I'm saying? And with that tap water, I throw it into my Prime jug. Shout out to my boys over there at Prime. I appreciate y'all sending me the gift. Feel me? They send me some other stuff too. They send me about literally like all type of energy drinks and juice packets and some. I'm talking about, yeah, like real low. So go rock with Prime. Go rock with Prime. Okay. Now that I did my promo, where was we at? Yes. Marriage and kids. Yes. Marriage and kids. Very much so something that I feel like we should talk about more. That's just where my head has been at. It's just where my head has been at. Is like, man, what will I look like as a husband? What will I look like as a father? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what will I really look like as a father? Like, what will I put an emphasis on as a father? Because I know as a father, I'm going to put an emphasis on stupid stuff like sports and stuff like making sure you defend yourself and stuff like, you know, make sure you take care of yourself, make sure you present yourself in this way, make sure that you have manners and make sure that you treat a woman this way, right? But a strategic alliance like marriage, like really, really locking in for life with a woman who you have a similar mindset to, but she can offer things that you just can't. She can step in and actually teach like academic success and like spiritual guidance and like, you know, all of the things that I feel like a father just cannot do to the degree that a woman can. You feel what I'm saying? And that be the type of mindset that I be in is like, man, you know, what will I be like as a father to produce the best possible kid and have that kid go into the world fully equipped to dominate and accomplish things that I was never able to. Like, truly, I don't think that a lot of people think that way as it relates to kids. That's why they try to hold on to their youth for longer than they should. I'm not going to say longer than they should. I feel like that's all subjective. Whatever you do with your life is what you do with your life. But you can have conversations with people and ask them like, hey, when do you want to have your first kid? They going to say some obnoxious ass number just because they trying to hold on to their youth. That's a mindset thing. Like, that's a mindset that truly needs to be deconstructed. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the type of person where I'm like, you know what? I want to have kids, but it's only one prerequisite. I want to have a kid with my wife. I don't want to have a kid with my girlfriend or just some girl. I want to have a kid with my wife, right? That's the prerequisite. From there, I would hope that I'm a younger parent. You feel what I'm saying? I would hope that I have a kid before I'm out of my 20s. You know what I'm saying? 27 might be a good year for me. You know what I'm saying? Whenever everything is everything and everything is making sense in the lens of I have a wife. I don't give a fuck about the money stuff or the financial stuff. None of that stuff matters. As long as I got a wife, I'll be ready to have a kid. With that being said, who do I need to be a husband, right? And I'm just doing a work back schedule, right? I'm a project manager. That's my craft, project management. I'm doing a work back schedule. Who do I need to be as a husband first, right? Who is that wife going to be as it relates to her mindset and her heart and what she believes in truly and what I know for a fact I can expect to be poured into a kid? That's the work back schedule. And then from there, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. But it be conversations like that people who look like me don't like to have because they're trying so hard to hold on to their youth. And their mindset and their thought process as it relates to what the world will offer them is so fragile. Because this world ain't got shit for you. It really, really don't. It don't got shit for you that it didn't already give you. With that being said, will you bring a kid into this world and supply them with all of the necessary tools that they need to be able to go and make a killing? And when I say supply them with the resources that they need, I'm not talking about money. That's another thing that people who look like me think, is that you need a whole bunch of fucking money to go and be an amazing husband, an amazing wife, an amazing parent. When in reality, right? When in reality, all you need is the game. All you need is a pile of the mistakes that you made, completely understood, completely broken down, and being able to be spoken to in a myriad of different perspectives. And that's it. That's it. I couldn't even figure something else out to go behind it. All I'm saying is this. This is all I'm saying. Let's really, really start looking at what type of stuff is attached to this world, right? What type of stuff is attached to this world that actually bears real fruit? And once we start putting the emphasis on that and start surrounding ourselves with people who are having conversations around that and people who are actually pouring into that, I promise you, people who look like me, we start to elevate, you feel me? And we start to really, really tap into that class that we think are just the craziest, most malicious people in the world, and they all are so selfish and they all do these things to tear down us. No, look at the type of stuff that they actually implement in our life. And let's see if it makes sense for us. Let's see if it can get us out of the positions that we in. Because I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of classes. It's a lot of people who don't look like us, who don't treat our women the way that we treat our women. And it's a lot of classes who make different money than us and don't look like us, right? And they don't present themselves in the world the way that we present ourselves in the world. So we got to look at all things considered. All things considered, look at things and then actually be like, okay, what can we do today to change this? And once conversations like that start happening with the same homies that you'll pop out to the club with, the same homies that you'll go and crack jokes with and tweak with and drink with and all of that type of shit, once you start facilitating conversations like that with them, then things start to change and things start to shift. I promise you, my homie, my closest homie, we literally get on the phone every single day at 7:30 a.m. from like 7:30 a.m. to like 8:15 a.m. while we having our morning coffee. And we literally talk about our goals. And we literally talk about how when we get older, we're going to have our kids. We're going to live on the same block. And I'm going to send my kids over there to their crib to do homework. And he going to send his kids over to my crib so we can work out. We're going to live on the same block. That's going to be Uncle G. I'm going to be Uncle G. And we're going to live on the same block. And like, those are the type of conversations that we have. And now the work back schedule is, how do we get there? Cool. Well, let's go get this money. Let's go get this money, right? Let's make sure that we prayed up. Let's make sure that we just not out here getting money and thinking that it's off of the strength of what we did and who we are. No, all of the grace goes to God. All of the honor goes to God. Anything that we do does not happen without God. Okay, cool. What is the most strategic alliance? All of that love stuff, all of the romantic thinking that love is just two people on a balcony kissing and hugging. No, that's out. What is the most strategic alliance, right? And the most spiritually driven relationship that we can possibly be in, to where we bring this woman into our life and she brings the most value possible. Like, she brings all of the value out of us and she gives all of the value to them kids. How do we get there? And whatever the process is, whatever the path forward is, ask God to reveal it, and then we go. But those are the type of conversations that I feel like a lot of people should have, because I promise you it's fruitful. And I promise you it puts your headspace. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. You feel me? So if you're wondering where I've been and why I've been off the net, I've been literally just pondering on ideas like that and sitting on ideas like that. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? They say my pops lived down the block from each other along with all of their friends. Like that's trim. That's trim. I ain't gonna lie. Cause it's different from living on the block with all of your friends and all of the people that you grew up with versus getting to that neighborhood you always wanted to be in, or getting in that house that you always wanted to be in, or getting that car that you always wanted to have, whatever the case is. That 10-year, 15-year plan, and then looking up in 15 years and the people who you love the most is still with you. Like, you can't put value on that. You can't put a price tag on that. It ain't no way that you can tell me there's any amount of money that can be more meaningful than that. And that shit is hard to do. I'm telling you right now, as a nigga who got out of the trenches, like as a nigga who you would never even think came from the trenches. Because I don't carry myself like that, and I don't talk like that, and I don't walk like that, and I didn't leave the trenches to go back. I'm telling you right now, as a nigga who literally come from the trenches, one of the things that I always wish for and I always desire, and one of the things that hurt my heart the most is the niggas who I grew up with, the niggas who I love the most, can't be where I'm at right now. Would not be able to do the things that I'm doing. Would have never picked up the books that I picked up. Would have never said no to the shit that I said no to. Would have never ever woke up at 5 in the morning and went to sleep at midnight and spent the whole day rabbit holing, learning, grinding, working out, thoughtful conversations. Like a lot of people don't do that on some real shit. So when you look up 15 years later and you got the homie from the trenches who's still with you, who just so happened to think the same way you did, and you got the young lady from college who still loves you and adores you and seen all of the mistakes you made and was in close proximity to you this whole time and still sticks around with you, I promise you it's shit like that that you can never, ever, ever put a price tag on. It's invaluable. So it's like, yeah, the flashy shit, the consumerism and all of that type of shit, I don't know why people put an emphasis on it and they make it a big thing. Do what you're going to do. But I'm telling you right now, lifelong relationships, people who can actually do life with me and understand where I'm going, see the vision, and figure out a way for them to align themselves in my life, and then vice versa, that's invaluable, bro. It's invaluable. It's invaluable. And it's rare. It's so, so rare. It's so rare. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Life partners. Life partners. For sure. Oh, that's how I was raised. Wisdom personified when imitating Jehovah. Plant your seed in the morning. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wake up every single morning. Have whoever it is that you're going to talk to every single day who you know for a fact is like, yeah, you know what? I need to check in with them this morning. Let them know what's on my plate. Right? Let them know what I'm working on. You check in with them and then you go dominate. And then at the end of the day, they going to ask you, hey, did you get that done? How did that go? And you better have a good answer. Have a good answer. You feel me? Don't let down the people who is counting on you. You feel what I'm saying? And they not counting on you for their own benefit. They counting on you for you. They want to see you win. That's the only reason that they ask the questions that they ask. So it's like, yeah, definitely get you some accountability partners for sure. And lock in with them. And do life with them. And do life with them for sure. For sure. Y'all got me on here talking. I hope, yeah, y'all got me on here talking. I told y'all that I'm going to be being a little bit more consistent. I'm going to be doing better as it relates to getting on here and using the platform to just talk and chop it up. I got some dope ideas as it relates to content. So it's going to be some things coming. You feel me? But what I am going to do is I'm going to make these episodes just a little bit shorter. You feel me? I'm going to make them a little bit more digestible. Is there any questions? Is there any questions before I wrap this up? Because I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to edit this up, cut this up, and then I'm going to put this on YouTube first thing in the morning. I'm going to drop some reels. You feel me? I feel like we got some good reels to get out of this. And then from there, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. Yep. Not a question, but thank you for being you. No, thank you for being you. Thank you for being you. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you something that ain't no creator ever gonna really admit, especially when you have some sort of success on social media. What happens is that once you start throwing your content up and once you start being yourself a little bit, you're going to reach a wide variety of people first. But then that wide variety of people will consist of people hating on you. It will consist of people, disagreeing with you and bickering with you and pointing things out that you're doing incorrectly and all of the things attached to just not positive feedback and positive interaction. But what happens is after a while, you start to hone in on your authentic audience. You start coming across the people and your following becomes the people who actually genuinely rock with you, right? So for me, I look up a year after creating content and I see the same people in the chat comments and interacting and all of the things. And that just shows you that the follower has died and the subscriber, the actual like person who's here and rocks with you for real, like the actual community member is the new wave in the new era of social media. So that's the game for any upcoming creators. If you want any type of game, the follower is dead. Start aiming at getting your authentic audience, right? Get people who actually are here because they love you, rock with you, and want to hear what you got to say. And you do right by them. And you ask them, what do they want to hear? You feel me? You ask them, hey, what questions do you all have? What can I do to make sure that y'all get the most out of me? And you build upon that, and you build upon it, and you build upon it. And what happens is that you figure out different ways to monetize. You figure out different ways to scale. All of the things attached to the business are going to be a byproduct off of you making sure that you figure out who the authentic audience is. And that's the game that I got for any current creators and aspiring creators. And that's that. And that's that. Your future wife is a lucky lady. I ain't gonna lie, she's so fine too. Ooh, you know what I love about my future wife? What I love the most about my future wife is that she's so much smarter than me. My future wife is so much smarter than me. She sees things from a very much so critical angle, which could be sometimes seen as negative, but it's also seen as covering the bases that I myself would never cover. Like flagging the things that I would never ever flag. My future wife with my kids. Like imagine if I give birth to a young man, strong, healthy, right? Same level of aggression as his dad, same level of compassion as his dad, but with his mother's academic acumen and with his mother's knowledge of what a woman is actually looking for in a man. And with his mother's understanding of my mistakes and shortcomings and being able to express those to him so he does not do that to his future wife. That's going to be my future wife. I love you. Give me a kiss. Peace. I love y'all so much.